Hello, this is Daniela from Sewing for a Living. In this video I'm going to show you another way to turn a turtleneck into a crew neck. What we've done by now is taking measure on the client how low we would like the neckline to go, and we've used a pin as a mark. Another thing we often do is to use chalk and kind of draw the neckline if it has to have some specific shape. But in this example, we just want to lower the neck, so I'm not going to draw it. First, I'm going to remove the top buttons that would stand in my way. Then we are going to remove the turtleneck. We are going to cut it out so it doesn't interrupt the shape of the neckline. I'm going to cut it out high by now, and we'll give the actual shape of the neckline later. What you might do is just cut it out starting at the end of the shoulder seam. If the turtleneck is sewn with a separate piece, cut out the piece. In our case, we don't have a seam, so we can draw a neckline before we cut, or even use another pattern so it is less intimidating. I start cutting at the end of the shoulder and make a natural curve. The next step here is to cut out the actual shape of the neckline. Here we need to be really careful. One half should mirror the other precisely. So before we cut, we are going to secure and pin both sides together everywhere around the neck. So I start at the shoulder seams and pin them together, then the center back and the center front. I'm going to put a second pin at the front to make sure it doesn't twist. Then I'm going to pin together at the beginning of the side seams, right under the armhole. I'm going to put a second pin a bit lower to make sure everything stays in place. I'm getting ready to cut. I'm going to lay the dress on the table as it is pinned by half and cut out the neckline. Oh, I see that I've missed to pin all the way along the shoulder seam, and this can really mess things up. So let's do it and double check if everything stays together before we cut. You can use a chalk to draw the neckline. I prefer a sliver of soap because it vanishes really easy with the iron steam. I keep in mind that I need to leave some seam allowance, so according to the type of hemming you prefer, leave the appropriate hem allowance. Always finish at the end of the shoulder seam, so you don't cut out of the shoulder width. I left 3/4 of an inch for a cover stitch hem, so it is now safe to remove the marking pin. I'm going to remove all the pins and see what I've made. it looks good, it's even on both sides. I'm happy with the result, and the last thing left for me to do is make the hem. I make the hem on the cover stitch machine. You can make it as you prefer, just make sure that the seam tolerates the intensive stretching of the neck opening. That's the result I got, a nice, even neckline. Here is the before and after once again. If you liked this video and find it useful, give it a like or comment below. In case you want to see more like it,